All right, so you know those days when you have a session planned in the gym and then you get there and then you feel like offing yourself a little bit. This is most likely during legs or some heavy back training. And the reason you feel like this sometimes, you feel very weak, just shitty, is has a lot to do with your diet. So, for example, if you have very heavy squats coming up tomorrow and it's around the middle of the day or earlier today, I'm going to be showing you how to hit that next PR that you have planned, hit the numbers exactly as you have intended. So, what you should eat the day before and what you should eat the day of are slightly different. And let me fucking get into that right now. The day before, you want to max out your water, your carbs, and your saturated fat, and also protein. But protein, as it relates to pre-workout nutrition, is not very relevant unless you've had just fucking zero protein. You'll be fine. So you're gonna want to eat something that has a lot of carbs. I know carnivore, keto, oh no, that has a lot of saturated fats. Yay! Now this one everyone's gonna agree on, and that has a lot of salt. If you're contesting or like peaking for a contest or bodybuilding show, obviously fucking don't. But if you're at that point of advancement, then you don't need to be watching this video on pre-workout nutrition. So some meals that have this combination of water, salt, carbs, and fucking what's it called, saturated fats. A lot of Chinese food is very good, but that tends to make me not retain that very well. There are some digestion issues, and I'm sure it's the same for many of you. So here are some alternatives. The number one meal that I recommend for this, and it's actually what I'm going to be eating before the day of my 1 rep max, is, if you know Big Z, fucking Latvian or Lithuanian, one of those guys, Lithuanian, I think, yeah, žydrūnas, savickas. He has a meal, savickas. I'm not gonna like pretend to not know how to pronounce the name. I just don't know where the S is. So he has a very, very beautiful recovery meal that he has the day before a workout. And it's basically this. You take a bunch of potatoes, you fucking cut them up, you cook them, pan sear them, pan fry them in a bunch of oil, vegetable oil. I know, very scary. Seed oils, woo. But he does that until and he cuts them up into very small pieces. So like they actually fry properly. And then he has a bunch of farmer's cheese, which is basically like, I mean, it's similar macros to Greek yogurt. It's just salty and dry and crumbly. And then he mixes that with a bit of milk, and then he mixes that with raw garlic and pepper and salt. And then the combination of the nitric oxide from the garlic, the fucking protein from, and the good fats from the farmer's cheese and the milk, and the fucking carbs from the potatoes, and also the electrolytes, like the potassium that's in there, just absolutely blows you up for the next day. And that's what he does before the gym. The day before the gym. If you had this as a pre-workout meal, you would shit yourself and be very queasy and nauseous. So have something like this the day before. What else can we have if we're not gonna be having this? Hamburgers are a great choice. Something that's not too lean of a blend, like In-N-Out, The Habit. I'm just exposing myself. These are all very California focused chains, but or making your own. The ground beef obviously has a lot of saturated fat, good protein, whatever else. You're going to be seasoning it, so that's your salt requirement taken care of. And the buns are going to be having a lot of simple carbs, and you're most likely going to be having fries with them, which fucking ticks all these boxes. Again, I should have prefaced this before. This is not for health. This is for performance. If you want to eat for health, please fucking disregard this, because, yeah, maximum performance and eating for maximum health are, in the long term, going to be more similar than this. But in the short term, if you just want to get a kick in that next PR, it's going to be very different, because there are some things that just make your body stronger, make you feel fuller, fucking more glycogen, more padded out, whatever else. Now, what you can also have is a few different pasta sauces. The two I have written down are Alfredo and Bolognese. The Alfredo is going to have something very cream based, so you definitely don't want to have that before a session, because you're just going to fucking shit yourself all over the place. It's been into a couple of minutes into the video, so I can say words like that. But the day before the session, it's perfectly fine, because you're going to have it digested. The fat's going to do all the cool things for your hormones. It's going to give you a bunch of calories. The pasta is going to obviously give you a bunch of glycogen. And if you have chicken with the Alfredo, it's protein. Very good. You also could have a bolognese, which is a meat sauce, more congruent to tomatoes than the Alfredo, but still not fully a tomato sauce. This is as well loaded with salt, loaded with carbs, loaded with saturated fat. It's going to fucking supply you very well. And these pasta dishes are some things that, like, you have it, especially if you have a big serving of it, you just pass out after. So you have that humongous fucking meal. Ideally a few hours before you go to sleep. Again, this is not optimal for health. and then just fucking knocks you out, and then you sleep very well, and then you go you go on to the next part of this plan, which is going to be the day of the workout. Actually, there's one more option for this if you don't want to do any of the pastas or the žydrūnas meal or hamburger. Autism. If you don't want to have the burger, you can also have a ginormous burrito bowl with a bunch of rice, sour cream, cheese, guacamole, fucking crema, I don't know, salsas, maybe not, because then you're more likely to have digestion issues as well. But yeah, just something with that, like that. The burrito bowl is going to be probably packed with more vitamins and antioxidants, mineral shit like that. Which, if you go like Derek from More Plates, More Blades, More Trend, More Men, he says like antioxidants before a workout is bad because it like stops the fucking muscle growth signaling, so you won't be able to be as cool. Definitely the day before, it reduces inflammation, makes you sleep better, whatever else. So that's gonna be very nice. If you have a burrito bowl with a lot of vegetables and some fruit to go along with it, that's definitely gonna have those antioxidants. So it's gonna be fucking lit. And all the other criteria are matched. Just use your imagination. Whatever fucking salt, water, carbs, saturated fat, some protein. Now, the day of the workout, slam water. Please slam water. I've had this like kind of fear that like you're just gonna shit or piss yourself during the brace, like during a heavy deadlift or heavy squat. I know it sounds weird, but it's like there are videos of women doing sumo deadlifts and they're like, ugh, and it's like, oh, I don't know, that's somehow a feminist symbol, but basically, it's not a real fear, is what I'm trying to say. I had this like preconceived notion, like, yeah, if I eat before a workout or drink a lot of water before a workout, then I'm gonna be braced, cannonball racing, fucking hunkered, bear down, and then it's just gonna like escape involuntarily. Trust me, that's not gonna happen. If you're exercising, your body knows what to do. You're not a fucking toddler. Your body's gonna react instinctively, and it's gonna know, hey, maybe don't piss yourself right now. So it's gonna be great. Slam a lot of water, obviously. Do whatever you need to before workout. Make sure you balance that out with salt, some fruits for electrolytes, and the meal before your workout. The biggest difference between that and the day before is not a lot of fat. I sometimes disregard this. It doesn't always end that well because a lot of fat before your workout can make you feel sluggish. This is what happened to me partially yesterday. Partly I was just sleep deprived, but partly I also fucking slammed a bunch of fat, saturated and unsaturated, before my bench session, and I uploaded. I unracked what I was gonna hit for like fucking 9 reps or like 10 or 11, and I bam, Scott Mendelson maxing, and then I just on the 4th rep I just stopped because I was just feeling so fucking sluggish and disgusting. Because if you have a bunch of fat, it's gonna take a lot more to digest that, and since it has a lot more calories, it's gonna go in you. Fucking man, right before a workout, you don't want your hormones and whatever trying to be unpacked from the fat that you had. You want to save that for after for better recovery. So you can have something moderate in protein. Again, protein doesn't matter too much pre-workout. It matters post-workout because like muscle fiber breakdown, you want to repair them. But again, a bunch of carbs are good. A bunch of water is good. A bunch of salt is good. And then there are a few accessories. The accessories are like caffeine and pre-workouts, basically. What I have written down over here on the script, just off to my side, is that pre-workouts are empty. They have very little nutritional value except if it's some like fucking niche product. They have how do I say this? It's basically just caffeine and like things that make you feel funny. And if you like those, that's wonderful. But so to get the best effect out of a pre-workout, you would have it on an empty stomach, right? Because then you could feel like a fierce raw berserker, and then fucking you just go feral. But again, it may be a little bit more injury prone if you just have like that much caffeine on an empty stomach. You may be acting more erratic, just fucking anxiety, whatever else. Which can be cool. You can go like, oh yeah, especially for like things like weighted pull-ups, you can fucking, because it's a concentric only movement. You like get up here and then it's done. There's no eccentric. There's not a lot of technique. There's little chance of injury if you use a neutral grip. So very nice to just pop my hip out of its fucking socket. Not really, it's fine. But so if you have a pre-workout to maximize the effects of it, have it on an empty stomach. Then you can get one kind of like sporadic energy, manic energy, berserker, whatever you want to call it. You will become nuts berserker. But caffeine in itself, like if you just want to have a tea or a coffee, yeah, that could help. It's like you need to have like a fairly high dose to feel like a substantial difference. So like maybe one tea isn't going to make a humongous difference. It's going to be more placebo than anything. But then if you have an actual pre-workout, it's going to be cool. If you have an actual pre-workout along with a bunch of food, it may also mess up your digestion, which is like I don't envy the gym toilets because they have just fucking Rice Krispies and like Gorilla Mode nitric all over it. I mean, that doesn't. I don't know how those mix. I'm sure a lot of gym bros can tell you, but it doesn't sound like a fun time. So to get a more steady kind of energy, yeah, just eat the food and then skip the pre-workout, and you'll feel more like a mountain. You'll feel more like something very steady, stable, but very powerful. So things in which you're not moving that much, like you're not doing like a plyometric fucking jump or something, like a squat, low bar squat where you have to like load it, then you have to pull, get down to depth, fucking, and then like drive up, hip drive. You're gonna want yeah, just having that food, having that saltwater carbs, and maybe sticking off the pre-workout is gonna help you substantially for things like that. For things like, I don't know, weighted dip, you just fucking throw yourself up. Sure, go the pre-workout route. And if your digestion is fine, it's not gonna hurt you. Obviously, it's gonna help, but it doesn't have many nutrients. It is in itself empty. So the alternative that I want to suggest to you is a drink from the silver era that I learned from Ersoviak, and Steve Reeves used it. I think fucking there was another like 50s like silver guy who made a different version, but it's basically squeeze lemons, honey, and a pinch of Himalayan salt into water, into a lot of water. Then you have that, and it's like your homemade Gatorade. It has a bunch of nice, cool things like the lemon helps your muscles contract somehow. The salt helps you get a fucking sick pump. The honey gets your glycogen up so you can push out more reps, so you can also get fuller. It's gonna help you tremendously. So you have that like half an hour to an hour before your workout. Don't eat an overly big amount, but again, prioritize saltwater carbs. And then when you got out from the gym, supposedly you just fucking like, I don't know, molested your legs, just like they're absolutely dead, they're absolutely destroyed. Then's when you want to have, then's when you can have pretty much whatever. That's why most meal plans, if they have like a steak and sweet potato meal, that's why they have it after, because it's usually higher fat, more complex carbs, whatever. You want to have simple carbs before your workout. Maybe complex if it's going to last a while, but yeah, you want to have simple carbs before your workout as a general recommendation. And then post-workout, you can take your fucking creatine, you can do whatever. Apparently, pre or post-workout doesn't matter too much, but people found that post-workout had a little bit better effect for creatine. I'm not sure why. Since it's used for like a contraction, you would think it's the other way around. You would think it would help pre-workout, but apparently it does not. And like once your muscles are at saturation, so like bumps up, depending on like how many days you've been taking it, and then just like reaches a steady fucking baseline. So yeah, you have your creatine post-workout. If you're an enjoyer of that. What the fuck am I touching here? Oh yeah, it's the pasta machine. Very nice. Hello. Haven't used this guy in a while, but he has seen some use in his days, and he will see some soon. That about concludes the video. Watch back any section you need to. Thank you very much for watching. I usually put a product placement over here, and right now it's just a Super Spiro water bottle, which is the wooden cap broke off of this after like 1.5 years, so it's fucking plastic now. Unfortunate, testosterone decreasing by the minute. But I usually put a product placement here. If this video helped you and you were very captivated by my amazing, epic, engaging, fucking funny jokes, then please scroll down in the description. I have a product there that's going on for an exclusive pre-sale price, and it's going to help you with all things nutrition, diet, and also culinary. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, you may not have a lot of time, or you may not feel like you have a lot of time, but you have enough. Thank you. Yeah.